All right, guys, let's learn how to do cocaine. Now, I've been doing cocaine for a few years now. I've been doing it with a deck of cards, and I'm so glad that I'm able to incorporate it to the neon deck because it looks absolutely stunning. Now, I want to give you a very fair warning before we begin. Cocaine is not for the faint of heart. It is a difficult move that even for seasoned cardists, they'll find some trouble trying to get everything together and looking smooth. But I'm going to try my best to try and break everything down, so even if you've never touched a deck of cards or a neon deck, it'll be easy for you to follow along at home. So let's begin with how many packets you need. You can have the entire neon deck in your hand, all 9 packets, or you can strip it down to about 6 packets, which is what I like to use, around 6 to 7. But before we begin incorporating all the moves to do cocaine, let's grab one packet and learn one of the prerequisites, okay? Which is the card twirl. Now, if you don't know how to do a card twirl, it's basically like a coin roll. So if you know how to do a coin roll, you'll know that it begins over here and it goes through each finger like a roll. But if you don't know how to do that, it does require a lot of muscle memory, and it's going to take time to get it down so that you can do it without thinking. Let's say for your starting position, you start over here. Okay, so you're basically going to be pinching one of the packets between your middle finger and your index finger, just like so. So they're pretty much parallel with each other. They're just pinching onto the packet like so. And what you're going to do is you're basically going to put your index finger over your middle finger. And in that action, when that happens, the card will naturally flip over kind of like so. So it's rotating kind of like 90 degrees, like that. So I'm going to show you a little bit closer. It's a little bit hard to do, slow, but as you can see, it's parallel. The fingers are parallel with each other, and then the index finger goes on top of the middle, and then the packet rotates along with it. So once you're here, you're in this position. What you're going to do is try and get it to roll over the middle finger. So you're going to be catching it with your ring finger, so that's going to be going over the packet. So it clears the packet, as you can see. It starts from over here, but it's going to clear over. Now, this might feel very uncomfortable if you've never done this before, but try and get that ring finger over, because that's going to grab the packet. You're going to let go of your grip of the packet with your index finger, and you're going to be pinching it between your ring finger and middle finger, just as you did with your index and middle. I know that's really wordy, but let me just show you. So just like that. So now, as you can see, the middle finger and ring finger are pinching onto the packet, and they're parallel with each other. And then you can probably guess what happens next. You're going to try and get that packet between your pinky and your ring finger. So how you do that is the exact same thing. You're going to be taking your middle finger, and it's going to roll over your ring finger, just like that. Okay, so in this position, and you're going to catch it with your pinky, just like that, and then you're going to release it over from your middle finger. So this will be kind of like your final position. So let's start from the very top, over here. So that's going to go over your middle finger. Your ring finger clears. Now you can always clear it before you even start rotating it, so you just gotta kind of extend your fingers so it's easy for you to catch it. The ring finger, release from your index finger. So now you're pinching it with your middle finger and your ring finger. Roll it over again. So your middle finger's on top of your ring finger. You're gonna catch it with your pinky, just like that, and it clears over from your middle finger. And now you are left with the packet pinched between your pinky and your ring finger, just like that. Okay, so now you know how to get it to basically roll or twirl forward. So you go over like so. Now, if you think this is difficult, well, let's learn how to do it backwards. It's the exact same thing, but reversed. So basically, your pinky is going to go over your ring finger. This is very tough to do slow. So let me just show you the action of what's happening to the packet. It's going to go over like that. And then you're going to catch it with your middle finger. And it's going to clear. And catch it with your index finger. And it's going to clear, just like that. It's really difficult to do slow, so once you get it forward, like so, you got to make sure that you can do it backwards as well. And it's even harder with a weighted packet. But let me show you that again. Start over here. Okay, you can start with it pinched over here. Goes over, 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 and once it goes back, it goes over, over, and just like that. Okay, so just practice it so that this becomes very comfortable. Okay, you can even use your thumb to, aid you, assist you if you are afraid that the packet will fall. But if you go back and forth, it'll start looking kind of like that. So just between like so. And as you can see, sometimes I use my thumb to support it, just in case it falls, or just to have that extra push so you can get that twirl in. So that's how you do it, very slowly. Now for the actual move itself, when you put it all together, you don't actually need to roll it back and forth. But that does really help you with that muscle memory so that you can get it comfortable. And once you do get it comfortable, for the actual move itself, you only need to pinch it between your middle finger and your ring finger, just like so. And it's going to look like that, okay? And as you can see, a lot seems to be happening, but all I'm doing is moving it over here. So it clears over like that, goes to my index finger. I kind of just push it over to the side. I don't even clear my ring finger. And then it goes back. This is basically all I'm doing. But with that added wrist motion, it looks like it's fluttering more than it really is. And all you gotta do is just turn your wrist over as you are doing the twirl. As you can see, my palm is facing down now, and then it faces up. So palm facing up, palm facing down, palm facing up, just like that. And then once you get it looking smooth, you're pretty much good to go. Now, once you get this down, and you're back to gripping it between your middle finger and your ring finger, you will catch it with your your pinky finger, just like that. And that'll be the final, basically, position of the twirl before you twirl all the way back up. So let's do that all together, okay? Pinching it between your middle finger and your ring finger. Over, goes to pinky, and then all the way back. Okay? So that's how you do the twirl with the right hand. And of course, if you prefer doing it with your left hand, you feel free to do so. Now, after you've learned the twirl, let's go to your left hand. Your left hand is doing something as well while you are doing the twirl with your other hand. So what happens with your left hand is you're going to be taking one of the packets and it's going to be going over like so. Now, just like that, and then it goes underneath. Just like that. Now that looks pretty complicated, so let's break everything down so it's easy for you to follow along. Now all you're manipulating is the top packet. So pay attention to the top packet. All I'm doing is pushing it out with your thumb, okay? So you're taking your thumb, you're gonna be pushing it out. So you're just working with one packet, as you can see. And then what you're pushing it, you're gonna be pushing it after, actually at an angle so that you push off like so. That way you can grab it with your index finger up top over here. Okay, so let me do it one more time. Pushing with your thumb so that you have enough space to have to catch the top part, the top edge of the packet with your index finger. Like so. What's going to happen is this is going to get a little tricky. You might, have the packet fall on the floor the first try, but you're going to pull the packet down with your index finger from the front, like so. And then now you're holding this packet with your index finger and pinching it between that and the rest of the deck. So if I show you at a different angle, this is how it looks. So make sure that you're able to grip it with your index finger. So you push, take it with your index finger, okay? Now, what I do is in the action of bringing it back, sort of, with my thumb. So pay attention to the position of my thumb while I grab the index finger, or with the index finger. So go back and then grab with your index finger. Happens very quickly. And that's basically just so you have a bit of a break so that you can grab it with your index finger. If you find that all you need to do is push and then grab, then good for you. That's one less extra step for you. Let's go from there. You grab with your index finger. You're going to pull all the way down so that it clears the deck. So now it's basically on the bottom of the deck, but sticking out like so. So let me show it at a different angle. This is what you're doing. You're still pinching onto the packet, so you're holding onto it so it doesn't fall. So take a step back over here. That. And what you're going to do now is you can see through the neon packet, or from underneath over here, you're going to use your middle finger, and basically, I'm going to actually turn everything around so it's easy for you to see. You are going to basically rotate this packet a little bit like so. And how you do that is two things are going to happen with your index finger and your middle finger. Those are the only fingers that are going to move. Your middle finger is going to pull, okay? And your index finger is going to extend. And when that happens, two things happen, just like that. Ooh. Starts to rotate a little bit, counterclockwise. So let me show you that again. It's kind of like dancing. So all you're doing is pulling with your middle finger and extending your index finger like that. Okay, just a very small movement, just a couple degrees. Okay, almost 90-ish. Okay, so let's start from over here. Push, pull, take it with your index finger, clear the rest of the deck, rotate, and then you're gonna basically curl your fingers back in so that it goes back to the top of the deck, like so. So from here, what you're going to do is you're going to bring the packet to the bottom of the deck. Now how you're going to do that is you're going to use your thumb again, and you're going to pull it to the left while you pinch the deck on the edge like so. And basically what's going to happen is you're going to keep pulling it down and pulling this packet away with your thumb until it clears the deck and it goes to the bottom like that. Okay, so let me show you that one more time. Let's bring that packet back to the top. So you're over here, gripping it in this fashion. You're going to pull with your thumb and then pull down with the rest of your fingers so that it clears like that. So once it clears, it's going to go to the bottom. Now this is going to feel very uncomfortable at first if you're not familiar with doing moves like this. So all you're doing is peeling the top packet down with your thumb. So once you get that move down, you will be needing to add some wrist action, just as you did with the twirl, so it seems like more is happening than it actually is. So right now, you know that it goes over like that, and then over like so. Now what you do is you're going to turn your wrist over, and then put it back to the bottom. So once more, turn. So it seems like there's a bit of a flick kind of action when you are rotating the packet. So you turn your wrist, and then over like that. And this move, I believe, is called Flack from the Vitasoys. It's a very lovely move, and I've been using it ever since, and there you go. So now that you know what to do with your left hand, you know what to do with your right hand, oh my gosh, I'm so excited to finally put it together for you guys to follow along. So let's begin. Cocaine. All right, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna need a break between the top two packets and the rest of the deck. Now, if you don't know what a break is, basically, all you need to do is keep some space, a gap between the top two packets and the rest of the deck with the flesh of your pinky. So all you gotta do is either lift the two packets and then insert the flesh of your pinky in so that there's this natural gap over here, or you can push off the two packets and then pull it back with your thumb while maintaining that gap. Okay, one more time. Push over, basically lifting up a little bit, and then you insert your pinky as you pull back. And that's basically the push-off technique in order to get a pinky break. So if you're familiar with sleight of hand, you already know what this is. But once you get that break with your pinky, you can now easily grab from the corner the two packets. Now, this is gonna get a little bit tricky. You're gonna contact the bottom right corner of both packets with your pinky, your right pinky, and on the opposite side, opposite corner, you're going to be pinching it with your thumb. So you're going to basically be lifting off both of those packets up. So that is now contacting both your pinky and your thumb from the corners. All right, let's try that again. So from here, lifting up like that. Now what you're going to do is basically this. One full rotation. Okay, let's go back and learn how to do that. So from over here, bring it up. You're going to use your ring finger of your right hand. You're going to pull this edge towards yourself while still bouncing and pinching onto the corners of the packet with your left thumb and your right pinky. You're going to pull that. So you're pulling your ring finger, and then you're going to extend your ring finger. So that does a rotation. So one more time. You're going to be pulling. Pay attention to my ring finger, and then extending. And make sure that your middle finger is going to be on top because you're going to be peeling off the top packet. So from here, once you get that twirl down, you peel with your middle finger, and you're basically going to grab it with the rest of your fingers while kicking this bottom packet with your ring finger out. So it's going to kick like so. All right, let's take it from the top. You take the two packets, turn it around, steal the top one, kick the bottom one, and now the fun begins. Now let's break down what to do with your right hand. You'll notice that there is an extra packet over here that you're gripping with your index finger and thumb, and that's what makes it a little bit difficult. But if you know how to do the twirl smooth, what's going to happen is this. Watch the position of my hand. I'm not going to even bother talking because there's a lot that goes on. Over half again. Take with your index finger. Turn your wrist completely over. You don't complete the twirl, but you are now gripping this packet between your middle finger and your thumb. And then you're shifting it back to where it was, like so. Still gripping it between your middle finger and your thumb. Then it's gonna go over to this position. Just pay attention to what's happening on this side of my hand because you already know how to do the twirl. It's just shifting on this edge between my index finger and my middle finger. And once you start playing around with it, you'll start noticing that it becomes kind of natural. I mean, that packet needs to go somewhere, so you gotta grip it somehow. So that's what you're doing with your right hand. Okay, so let's put it all together. Boom, boom. Half a rotation, grab this packet. Okay, two things are happening. Flack, and the twirl on my right hand. Okay, and now you're in this position. Okay, what I basically did was from here, you're going to bring that in, bring this packet in with your pinky and your ring finger. You're gonna let go of this packet over here so it falls onto the rest of the deck. And now you're in the position to do a twirl. So it goes underneath my hand, but let's say my hand wasn't there. You're doing a simple twirl where this allows to go back onto the top of the deck. So let's take it from here again. Two things happening. What I like to do is cross my hands, kind of like that, so that this packet is able to naturally fall over there, and then I do the twirl. And that is everything. That is a hard move to do, guys. That was a little bit difficult, but once you break everything down into little segments, and then these two things happening, falling and doing the twirl, everything will just come together. So that's everything. That is how you do cocaine. I know it's really tough, especially with neon packets. If you're doing with a deck of cards, it's just as hard because there's a lot going on. But practice this lots and lots, and you know, if you want to look like a badass like me, just put in the practice and it'll really show. So guys, have fun doing cocaine.